It's time for Around the Ozarks in 5, brought to you by the Butterfly Palace. Have the best day ever adventuring through the rainforest at the Butterfly Palace. And Springfield Greene County Park Board, reminding you to go play. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Forhetz.
And it is Thursday. Good morning to you. Feels like fall out there. So we're going to get started with some news. And
I thought you were about to say it feels like Friday, and I was thinking, no, but it sure doesn't.
No.
But then you said fall. So you corrected yourself. Sorry, that was my bad. It does, in fact, feel like fall. You're right about that. All right. Friday. We got some news for you. This is an interesting story. Convenience store clerk is hospitalized after being attacked by a man who was stealing, or at least trying to steal. It happened at a store at Kansas Expressway in Kearney. The attacker is now charged with felony assault and robbery. As the man was walking out of the store with stolen items, the clerk demanded that he stopped and then followed him out. The clerk confronted him, and apparently the man punched the clerk in the head, knocked him down, and then kicked him 3 times, like stomped on his head while he was on the ground, while he was down. And when I say his, I don't actually know for sure if the clerk was male or female. So I should not have used that pronoun, but
pretty sure the clerk was male.
Are you? Okay. I was unclear at first, but anyway, the attacker was previously on probation, but it has been revoked several times. So I can remember an incident similar to this years ago that I covered, like in the early morning hours, 2:00 in the morning or something. There was a woman clerk who grabbed a broom, and just the fact that she reacted at all scared the guy, and he ran out. But this guy apparently was pretty brazen. The attacker also pretty brazen to, if someone, I don't know, I feel like if someone's stealing something, normally you would think that they would have some
our society continues to devolve because we're to a point now where somebody who's down on the ground, and you see it all the time in videos of these mobs attacking people. They will stomp on somebody's head.
Even after they're down.
When they're down and covering themselves, and the attack won't stop. It's disgusting. And I don't know what's happened in our society that has led to this now, but it happens all the time. And I don't think it's just that we have video of this stuff happening. I growing up, kids got into fights, and no one ever kept hitting and kicking people in the face and head when they were down. Once somebody's down, it's over.
Right.
That's the way it used to be. I can't. When I see it, makes me sick to my stomach watching some of these videos.
And no offense to any men. I mean, there are plenty of good men, but I've seen so many videos of men attacking women on video.
Yeah,
not even domestic necessarily, which we know our area has a high rate of that, which is obviously equally awful. But to me, it's
random.
strange because even, just seemingly unprovoked sometimes. And I'm not even talking specific to our area. I'm just saying video, you can, scroll through any social media these days and see that sort of a video. So it's really...
Well, there was one of those incidents that happened recently in Springfield at an apartment complex. A woman was walking down the stairs, and it's on video, and this guy starts beating her.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
All right. Now to this. Springfield police say beware. They've seen an increase in property theft in recent weeks, specifically motorcycles and other two-wheeled vehicles, or two-wheeled rides. I guess they're not vehicles, but dirt bikes, mopeds, scooters, bicycles. So anything with 2 wheels, lock it up. At least try to. Sometimes it's hard to lock up, right? If you don't have an enclosure to keep it in. But you just need to know that cases have been up in recent weeks. So make sure that you certainly don't leave the keys with it if it's an electronic ride. Otherwise, try to stow it away if possible.
Okay. Well, you probably knew it was coming. Now it's here. Springfield Greene County Health Department says they have the newest COVID vaccine by the end of the month. CDC is now recommending everyone 6 years old and older get the vaccine. As far as cost, the health department says they can only give out the vaccine for free to those who are underinsured or uninsured. People with private or commercial insurance will have to find other vaccine offerings, such as doctors, pharmacies. There'll be lots of options for sure. Uh, does that mean the health department will allow you to pay there for it, or can you only get it? Do they only give it out for free? Do you know, Sarah?
I'm not 100% sure. The press release, I think that it is only. I think you can only get it there if you're underinsured or
Okay,
uninsured.
okay,
Yeah.
but
But,
there are
I go there for travel vaccines, and you can go in and pay for those. So what would make this one different? Honestly, I'm not sure. I don't know.
okay.
I need to double check
Call
that, and I
call your
will
health department.
no, I'll have to call the health department, yeah, because, it's not here yet anyway, so you got till the end of September if you are interested.
Well, they can call the health department if they're interested, or they can call their doctor. There'll be lots of places.
Yeah.
Good news, bad news. Inflation jumped last month largely because of the really crazy high gas prices that climbed very, very quickly. That's the bad news if you hadn't figured that out. Good news is apparently other items didn't go as high as quickly. So the good news is it's not as bad as it could be, I guess. The Labor Department says the big jump in gas prices accounted for more than half of the monthly inflation increase. So economists say it's a better financial scenario, an indicator of what's to come compared to what it would be if core items like food and other groceries rose as quickly as gas rose. Obviously, that would be a major problem. But what did we say yesterday? That inflation is up 26% since
Yeah,
2010, right?
right.
Since 2013, something like that. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was interesting because if you like read some of the business articles on that, it almost felt like there were like conflicting numbers with the um rate of inflation, but it was apparently partially because like unemployment is like figured into that somehow, and then the core items slash gas. So it was weird. It was kind of hard to interpret, but essentially, yeah, I mean, gas went very high very quickly. Other goods went high, but not as quickly, which they say is better, like you said, better than it could be. So, all right. Well, here is one reason that flying in recent years has seemed a bit not as reliable as it used to, if we could say it like that. And I am a frequent flyer, so I can attest to this. The number of air traffic controllers is short by 3,000 workers. Therein lies the problem because to do that job, you have to go to a special, like specific academy, which takes you a while to get certified because it's a super important job. So, flight officials say they actually think that the shortage could last between 5 and 7 years because of the number of people not currently in school or really, it's like an academy to be an air traffic controller. Now, I will say that they have talked to some universities about possibly having this as an offering at universities that, if a student would be interested. So, because right now it's not, it's a specific academy for it. So that is an interesting little caveat that if that happened, that would be a good thing.
Hmm.
That would be a good
Well,
thing.
I know
So,
air traffic control is a tough job. That's for sure. Very
yeah, I think
stressful.
it's always on the super high list of most stressful jobs, right?
Yeah, it is. And this shows my ignorance, but I'm not sure why, because I would imagine most of it is computerized now. So you kind of just gauge the computer. Uh, but they always say it's very stressful. So I'll take their word
It's
for it.
the risk. It's the risk of trusting the computer. The computer's not always right, and then because if you mess up, it's a
Well, yeah,
big
bad.
mistake.
Yeah.
All right, Huey Magoo's must be doing okay. The Chicken Tender Restaurant is planning 4 more locations in the Springfield area, talking Ozark, Nixa, Republic, possibly one in Branson, plus another one in Springfield as well. And the Ozark one is supposed to open next month.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good for
it's
them.
exciting. Yeah. I still haven't been. I still haven't been to Huey Magoo's. I want to go, but if I only had a husband to take me on a date. Haha, just kidding. I really should go by there sometime. So I will do that. Duly noted. All right. I don't know if you saw this. I saw it. It was pretty great. The Springfield Police Department on Facebook has video of them catching a lemur. Yes, a lemur. It was a pet and it got loose. And then the department got a call that there was a lemur on the loose, which I think that's like probably one of the greatest calls they've ever had. I'm sure of it. If you go ask them, I think that they would tell you that. And so like any good citizen, because the police officer had to know like this is unique. So he was rolling video and it was pretty great because he's like chasing this lemur down the sidewalk. And I have a nephew, Hudson, who's obsessed with lemurs. And so that makes the story even better for me and more enjoyable. And sure enough, they snatched him up in a towel and all ended well.
Well, it's a much better call for police officers than that time the cobras were on the loose.
Oh my gosh.
The Springfield Cobra scare in the 50s.
Oh, wait, no, I thought you meant the one that got loose in Ozark. Do you remember this? That got loose in Ozark in the field.
That was a python.
Oh, yeah, that was a python. That was a python on like, it was sort of like County Line Road area. And I remember being out there looking for it. And I am terrified of snakes. Actually, I'm not. You know what? I'm not. I used to be. And now I'm like, get thee behind me. So, but that one was massively huge. And it was in a field in Ozark. Do you remember this?
Yeah, I remember it. It was wintertime, though, so it died, right? They found it dead?
No, it didn't die. It was up in the tree.
Oh, it was alive when they found it?
Yeah, pretty sure it was alive.
It was pretty cold at night during that time, so I think they were thinking it was going to...
okay, maybe it died. You know what? I don't remember the end of the story. All I remember is the hunt before they knew where it was and being out there and shooting video and being like... Anyway. It's the end of my story.
Well, I was talking about the cobras back in the 50s, whenever they all got loose from a pet store. Remember the cobra scare?
I don't remember that, but that sounds absolutely terrifying.
No, they were like legit 10 cobras on the loose. And it turned out that a kid was mad at the pet store and like opened some kind of gate or something and let the cobras out.
Yikes.
Yeah, you don't know about that story?
No. No.
It's a great story.
I'll have to look it up.
You could probably pull up a news leader story about it, or maybe KY3 covered it.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
I'm sure they did.
It's interesting. Okay, so sorry, one more like quick story. Oh, what was I going to say? It was about a snake. I don't know. Anyway, the end. Move on.
All right, good story. McDonald's is changing the way it does business. Ever since COVID, fewer people are eating inside. You've noticed this, and many more people are going through the drive-through. So the drive-throughs are really picking up, kind of like who started that? Chick-fil-A, the cool drive-throughs. So McDonald's is going to be downsizing their indoor restaurant space and beefing up the drive-throughs to make them more high-tech, which, could take it or leave it. But they're also, this is the most interesting part of this story, is that they're getting rid of the soda machines inside, where you can go get your own refills, go get your own soda, get yourself some sweet tea. They're getting rid of those altogether, which I am not a fan of. I like getting my own soda because I like to, and certainly my own sweet tea, because then I get to judge. I get to taste it first, get a little sweet tea in there, figure out how sweet it is. That tells me how much unsweet I need in it, because I can't take it as sweet as it comes. And then I like light ice, because typically where I'm going already has ice. So why am I going to pay them for ice when I have my own ice, either at work or at home? So that's how I do it. I like to do it myself, because if I give all those instructions to a worker at McDonald's, I don't think it's going to come out the way that I planned.
Let me tell you guys a true story about Mr. Forhats. This is a good one. You notice he said, why would I pay for ice if I have my own ice at home?
True.
So here's, I'm not picking on Ethan. I'm actually with Ethan. But one time this happened. We went to Andy's and we were on a date, and it like felt very like fancy, prim and proper. And I was like, oh, look, we're on a date. And he's spending money on me. And I don't need money spent on me, by the way, because again, I'm a fellow cheapskate, but this is just funny. So we get to Andy's and Ethan pulls out of nowhere this blender that he had blended his own blackberries And then he just ordered frozen custard from Andy's plain, which is cheaper than if you order it with blackberries. So he's like
Considerably so.
screwing off the lid of the blender and like making his own blackberry custard
I did.
while sitting at the drive-thru at Andy's. And
That's
I'm
true.
like, you know what? You're a one-upper and you just went up to me. I mean, I've never done anything that cheap in my whole life. Actually, yes, I have. I rented my wedding dress. My mother was highly offended, but I rented my wedding dress, so maybe I do win the cake after all. But that is a true story.
That is a true story, and I would do it again because here's the deal: we get a lot of blackberries for a pretty good price. I buy a lot of them. We usually have extra at home, and if they're getting close to going bad, and I think the kids aren't going to eat them, then I will absolutely take those with me on the road and pour them on my vanilla custard and save myself $3 right there.
I love it. I do.
That's true.
All right.
I've only done that once though. I brought it home before and you had my own blackberries.
Yeah.
I've only done it once.
What made that even more funny is that we were on a date.
Yeah.
That was really the icing on the cake for me. I'm like, this is a date. You're supposed to pretend like it's a date.
Well, you're lucky I didn't take hot fudge and dump it all over your vanilla custard. I could have done that,
right.
but because it
Moving
was a date.
on with your life, go ahead to the next.
Because it was a date, I allowed you to splurge for the hot fudge. Anyway, McDonald's is getting rid of soda machines inside, so you can't get your own. And I don't like it. I don't like it. This is interesting. Digital sales, so orders through the app, because all these places want you to use the app to order. I'm not sure why, but they do. Or through like Uber Eats, make up 40% of sales at McDonald's now. Think about that. 4 out of 10 orders come in not from the drive-through or from somebody coming in and ordering them. It's interesting. It's a lot, it seems like to me. Book lovers, this is your time. The Friends of the Library Fall Book Sale is happening now through Sunday at the E-Plex at the Ozark Empire Fairgrounds. You can get cheap books. I know that much. Cash or check only. That you do need to know this. They don't not taking credit cards there at all. So you got to take cash or check. But if you're getting like 10 books for a quarter, you probably have the cash in your car. Proceeds do help the 10 library branches around our neck of the woods.
All right. The Springfield area St. Jude walk/run is coming up on Saturday, the 16th at Hammons Field. You can go solo if you want to do that, or you can join a team like with your family or your coworkers. Get your workplace involved. They also take volunteers to help with setup and tear down and registration and everything that they will need on site. So you can sign up to participate or to volunteer, either one, at stjude.org. That's awesome. All right. Also this weekend, starting tomorrow, Friday, is Marionville's Apple Fest. There will be all things Apple, a little bit of Apple everything. Plus, they'll have barbecue, funnel cakes, a lot more food than that, lots of fun. There's a parade at 10 o'clock Saturday morning. And the Marionville's Got Talent show is at 4 o'clock on Saturday. So you can find all of that. Just head to the square.
Is that where we judged the pie contest?
No.
It wasn't?
Nope. No, I think we were in Mount Vernon. Maybe it was Marionville. I don't know.
It was Marionville.
It was pretty great though. It was pretty great.
All
right. So who can forget Cider Days? Cider Days, of course, here in Springfield on historic Walnut Street. It is happening this Saturday and Sunday. They have regional artists, local vendors, local crafters, live music, performances, and again, lots of good food and apple cider. Some delicious apple cider. The festival is from 10 to 5 both days, Saturday, Sunday. Tickets are $5 for everyone, but kids ages 5 and under get in for free.
All right. That sounds like there's a lot to do with this fall festivals, man. They kick it into high gear because everybody loves a fall festival.
Yeah. All right. And don't forget about the Chiefs contest. If you can go to aroundtheozarks.com and guess the score of the game without going over, you can win tickets, jerseys, from Kansas City. So that's cool. So check it out, aroundtheozarks.com. I feel like it's a little bit like The Price is Right. So anyway,
yeah, it's a great contest. And that's season long. So you can keep entering for each week. Yeah.
Yep. And again, you're guessing total score. So you're adding the scores together to come up with total score, total points scored in the entire game. So, all right. Happy Thursday, everybody. We hope you have a great day.
Yep. Tomorrow's Friday. So keep that in mind as you go throughout your Thursday. And we'll see you tomorrow.
My people who don't want to go to work. Anybody? Nope.
Say good night, Gracie.
Crickets. All right.